BFTB boxing. Best fight the best. So we are almost there, man. Almost there. Jeff Horn, WBO champion, is about to fight Terrence Bud Crawford in Terrence's first fight at welterweight. His very first fight at welterweight is going to be up against the upset-minded Jeff Hornet Horn. Let me be realistic and let me be 100% honest with you, alright? Jeff Horn has absolutely zero chance of beating Terrence Crawford. That's about as honest as I can get. The only chance that Jeff Horn has of beating Terrence Bud Crawford is if Terrence Bud Crawford shows up to the ring with both of his hands tied to his feet. Not even tied behind his back, because I think he could just legitly not get hit by Jeff Horn with his hands tied behind his back. His hands would have to be tied to his feet in order for him to lose to Jeff Horn. Now, I get it. I understand. People are going to come in and say, Jeff Horn's got a shot. Look what he did to Pacquiao. Pacquiao beat the shit out of Jeff Horn. Now, did I think Jeff Horn won? Yes, I did think Jeff Horn won. And I think that Jeff Horn beat the shit out of Pacquiao. But Pacquiao was not the Pacquiao of old. Pacquiao was an old Pacquiao. He wasn't the Pacquiao of old. He was just an old Pacquiao. And he still was beating the shit out of Jeff Horn. He busted him up badly. I have Terrence Bud Crawford as my #1 pound-for-pound fighter. Period. Above any and everybody. He can do it all. There is nothing the man can't do. Nothing. There's no instance of his career where he looked vulnerable. I don't give a fuck what y'all talk about with the Gamboa fight. I don't care about it. Y'all say we all won. He did not look vulnerable in that fight at all. Did he get hit? Of course he get hit. It's boxing. You're going to get hit. If you're trying to get somebody out of there, you're going to get hit because they're swinging while you're swinging. But he beat the shit out of Gamboa. Give a fuck if y'all say, oh, Gamboa was coming from a smaller weight. So y'all going to shit on Jeff Horn for Terrence Crawford coming up from a smaller weight? Are we going to start saying, oh, Jeff Horn, if Jeff Horn is fighting a smaller guy, are we going to start saying that? I don't hear anybody saying it. I don't hear nobody saying that. But what I do hear y'all saying is, oh, Terrence Crawford better watch out. He better watch out. Jeff Horn ain't no slouch and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I hear that. I hear a lot of that. Look, man, the reality is Jeff Horn is going to get the music beat out his ass. The toot in his horn is about to be destroyed. That shit is going to be gargling. Jeff Horn has zero. Yo, Terrence Crawford he's the pound-for-pound king for a reason. There's a reason he's the pound-for-pound king. His fight, Terrence Crawford's fight, his super fight, there is a super fight. Maybe not a super fight in every division, but there is a major fight. There's a super fight in some divisions. Heavyweight division got a super fight in it. You know, a major fight in the lighter weights is Loma versus Mikey, which I think Loma will wash Mikey. I think it'll be a different fight, a different fight for Loma. It'll be like, you know, another step up in competition. But Loma will wash Mikey unless he does that careless shit that he did with Linares, that hopping and popping, jumping in like Manny Pacquiao does, and he hopped and popped and jumped into a straight right. Then it could get interesting. But other than that, Loma will wash Mikey. He's smarter than Mikey. He's better gifted than Mikey. He will wash Mikey. Another topic. Jeff Horn will get washed. He's going to get washed. He's going to get taken to the cleaners and beat and schooled badly. If he doesn't get knocked out, his fate, he is going to get busted up something disgusting. This man, yo, do y'all remember, this is an old movie. What is that? Trading Places. The movie's called Trading Places with Eddie Murphy in it. When Eddie Murphy was in jail in the very beginning, and he was showing off his karate techniques that he didn't really have, but he was just showing them off to some of the inmates so nobody would fuck with him. And he showed them something called the quarter blood technique. Terrence Crawford is about to hit Jeff Horn with the quarter blood technique. A quart of blood is about to just drop out this motherfucker's body. Terrence Crawford is about to beat the shit out of Jeff Horn. I told my man MBT this one time on his channel. Shout out to MBT Boxing. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe. Amazing channel, aka The Voice. But I told MBT, I said, the only way that Jeff Horn will beat Terrence Crawford is if he has all the kangaroos from Australia, his entire family. The fight happens in the corner. That doesn't even happen. It can't even happen in his full kitchen because that's too much space. The fight needs to happen in the space by the refrigerator. You know, that little space that you have by the refrigerator, like right behind the refrigerator door when you open it up. Like when you open up the door, that space behind the refrigerator, the fight needs to happen entirely in that space. You can't give him any more room than that because Horn will get outboxed. The entire fight needs to happen in the space behind the refrigerator door when you open it up. Jeff Horn's entire family needs to be inside the ring as well. Like not just Jeff Horn. It can't just be Jeff Horn and his brothers. It's got to be Jeff Horn, his brother, his mother, his grandma, their ancestors, his cousins, all of his uncles. They need to have like a shaman in there, you know, with the peace pipe, so they can you know, coax the spirits and bring back Jeff Horn's greatest ancestor, you know, and put him in the ring. Then they need to go find that kangaroo that beat up that dog. They need to get that kangaroo, bring that kangaroo over and that kangaroo's family, and have the entire country needs to be yelling as loud as they can to make Terrence as deaf as they can make him. You know, so hopefully, you know, the ringing in his ears will cause him some problems so that Jeff Horn can get off some punches. This is the most gross mismatch of a championship fight, of a scheduled championship fight, because Saddam Ali versus Jaime Munguia was disgustingly gross, but that was on short notice. Like, of a scheduled fight, this is one of the most gross mismatches of a scheduled fight that I can remember ever. Jeff Horn, if Jeff Horn, I can't even fathom the words. He's not winning. Put it that way. He's not winning. There is no scenario that I can sit here and think of, and I've been thinking of a lot. There's no scenario where Jeff Horn beats Terrence Crawford. None. There's just none. I can't see it, man. I can't see it. That I would legitly have to watch that happen to ever believe that it could happen. That's like me seeing a unicorn just run across the street while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Or I just wake up and I'm in the movie Rampage or some shit like that when they're fucking up buildings. Like I would legitly have to like go to the beach and see a motherfucking mermaid just roll up out the water. Some shit like that. Like I gotta go to Loch Ness and see the Loch Ness monster with my own eyes to believe that Jeff Horn has any chance in hell of beating Terrence Bud Crawford. I will say this again. Terrence Bud Crawford is pound for pound #1 for a reason. He's pound for pound #1 for a reason. And anybody that has Terrence Crawford as their pound for pound #1 fighter should feel the exact same way I do. Because if you have Terrence Crawford as your pound for pound #1 best fighter, there should be no way in hell that you think Jeff Horn, the Hornet, has any chance at all in beating Terrence Bud Crawford. None. There are none. They're absolutely. The thought is ludicrous. The thought of Terrence Crawford losing to. All right. Let's just put this. Let's just put this in retrospect. All right. Let's just bundle this up and capture this all in one. If I can see Terrence Crawford losing a fight, it would be to Errol Spence. And that is it. That's it. So that's the respect you give somebody that you have as your pound for pound #1. You know what I'm saying? That's the respect you give them. Like Lomachenko. I have Lomachenko losing to Terrence Crawford. To bigger fighters, to people bigger than him. Like that is the respect I give Lomachenko. I have him losing to people bigger than him. You know, that's realisticness. That's realistically speaking. Like, I wanted him to lose to Rigondeaux. I picked Rigondeaux to beat him. Not because Lomachenko isn't special, but because of the shit that was happening to Rigondeaux. I wanted to support Rigondeaux. I mean, we ain't stupid now. We knew this was that Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko was going to be a fight for the ages. But we didn't expect Rigondeaux to wash him like that. I mean, Loma to wash him like that. But whatever. That's the respect levels you give to people that you have in your pound for pound. Terrence Crawford is my pound for pound #1 fighter. Your key word in there is pound for pound. Because my #1 fighter is Deontay Wilder. I don't see a man alive beating him. That's the definition of a #1 fighter. Now your pound for pound is a different story. Because I know Deontay Wilder will knock Terrence Crawford the fuck to oblivion with one punch. The man's dead. Like Lomachenko, Deontay Wilder will knock Lomachenko dead. Not knock him out. He will knock him dead. Dead with one punch. Dead. But that's why we have the pound for pound. That's the whole point of it, right? Pound for pound, Terrence Crawford is my #1 fighter. The respect you give your #1 fighter, pound for pound, who you believe, who you feel is your #1, you don't say they will lose to someone like Jeff fucking Horn. It's not happening. Especially after watching Jeff Horn's last 2 fights. You know, watching his fight with Pacquiao and his fight with that other dude, it's like, bruh, come on, dude. You got cut in both of them. You got busted up in the Pacquiao fight. You got cut in your next fight. You're fighting a better fighter than both of them. Manny Pacquiao ducked Terrence Crawford for a reason. There was a reason behind that. Jeff Horn will find out what that reason is. There is not little to none. It's not little to no chance. It's not Jeff Horn has a shot and little to no. No, you have no shot. You have no shot. Jeff Horn's only chance of winning. Jeff Horn's only chance of winning is not showing up to the fight. Just don't go. There you go. Just don't show up. If you don't show up to the fight, you'll still be a champion. You'll still be the WBO champion until you have to fight. I mean, I know he's your mandatory, but if you just don't show up, make up some excuse on why you didn't show up or whatever the case may be, but then, you know, you can fight him whenever you legitimately get forced to do so, I guess. But that's the only way. That's the only way Jeff Horn will not lose to Terrence Bud Crawford. That's the only way. I mean, if someone else can fathom a way that Jeff Horn will beat Terrence Crawford, first off, I'll tell you, you're full of shit. That's first off. Then, you know, second off, I'm gonna ask you what you've been smoking. And then lastly, I'm gonna tell you don't bet on it. That'll be the last thing I tell you is do not bet a penny on that. Not one penny. The odds are not good enough for you to even bet a penny. Just bet with yourself, your alter ego. You know what I'm saying? Just bet with that. Don't bet nothing realistically on that. Don't put nothing on that. Maybe if you find $1 on the street, you know what I'm saying, or if you find something in your seat, some change in your seat, then you could use that. You could bet that. You know what I'm saying? But even that's a stretch. That's like if that's the case, you might as well just give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Just just give it away. Like don't bet it. Just give it away. It's the same exact concept. Just throwing that out there, man. Trying to help y'all out. Best fight the best, and I'm out.